people are upset about the shipping costs and it no longer being an option to pick them up at the school. So is there any discussion of changing that, or is that just how it's gonna be this year?
Yeah, we don't handle the school store, so we talked about that and looked at, options. I mean, I guess we can bring it up and talk about it again. It's not in-house. So, if that company's doing their research, we'll have to talk more about that.
They will be at Silver Events though, like at the football game, they'll be at the first football game maybe, is that something?
We invite them to,
Okay.
different events, and that's the company that has been, it's been hard to find a vendor to even pick that up. So understandably so, if there's some issues with that.
When you bring in township, you have to go run.
What Ms. McGinnis just said, if you bring it in-house, you have to have people to run it, and that requires staffing and that kind of stuff that we just don't have to be able to.
You're definitely open to talking about it. All right, then.
Amy Boone said they would be, that Jason would be at the first football game.
Okay.
With stuff, but when Jason runs out of stuff, then you would have to go online. So,
So they plan to be at the first football game. When they run out of stuff, they have to go online to order it.
yeah, and you'll have, I know the first day here, I think it was middle school first.
Middle school. They sold quite a bit of
He
stuff.
sold like, the stuff was flying off the shelves, so it was crazy just being there for the first.
So just to clarify, so we can write down, what was the issue with the school store?
It's not my issue personally, but it's conversation that I've seen about, apparently what they're doing, instead of having it come to the school this year as an option, if you order something, you have it shipped to your home, and it's just a flat $10 charge, whether you order one t-shirt or you order 6 things, the charge is the same. So parents are wanting to know if there's an alternative option for picking the stuff up, or, can it come to the foundation office and they can come get it here? Or is there something else that can be done so that they're not paying $10 shipping to order a $12 shirt?
Mr. Zorn thinks we need to hook it up with Amazon.
I was the one that was helping out last year, delivering a lot of them. And I do understand that there were times that I went to the door and that they probably were in the middle of a test and whatever. I'm wondering, can they put a basket out there and like a sign on the door that says testing, so nobody bothers them, and if you have anything for them, you could just put it in the basket? I mean, it would just be a matter of maybe doing a sign up for crates, where every teacher has a crate.
I can tell you my personal feelings, that makes me very nervous. Because if somebody else is walking down the hallway, it's gone. And I hate to say it that way, and you hate to think in a character school that wouldn't happen, but, I think we'll look into if we can maybe drop it off at the office or something where you can pick it up with that. That's just my personal.
One of the questions that I just got was, parent said that she is having a lot of trouble opening up the newsletter. It's been going to, a lot of people don't use, I know the school uses Google Docs, but it goes to Google Docs and you can't.
What are they using to open it? What's their browser that they're, is it Chrome? I believe.
It's an Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
Is it on your phone or is it a computer or both?
Phone versus my
laptop.
You can read it on a desktop, but
I
on a
can
phone, it's
My
hard.
iPad, but I can't do my phone.
Right.
I can do my iPad, but not my phone.
You can't get it just left too.
Yeah.
On the phone, yeah.
Ms. Smith just walked out, and I know that there was an issue with Chrome and Google at one point, but it doesn't sound like that's the issue. But we'll talk with Ms. Smith and if you go through the website and there's a link to it there, and that should get you in to the newsletter. Hopefully that will work better for you.
Even on the phone, it doesn't work.
The link on the phone, the link in the, on the webpage.
That's how I access it, through the UA website, and when you click on it, you get a screen capture, and that's as far as it moves.
Okay. We'll write that down and.
There's
There's some platforms that aren't emailing to Hotmail for some reason, and like I can get emails that the foundation was sending out, but different emails from the middle school or the school in general, I'm not getting. But yet my son or my husband, and they don't always think, they just assume I'm getting it too. But
I've heard that recently from a few people that it's in their spam or their junk mail or their clutter.
Yahoo had a problem.
I would say Yahoo did have a problem. I knew we were aware of
If
it.
your address was Yahoo, it was a problem.
It started the end of last year, actually.
Yeah, that's when
I know, and
all
that's
the
hard for us
Yahoo
too, when we
addresses
think we
started
sent
getting.
something and you haven't gotten it, so I'll talk to IT about that.
So-
I'll write that down.
It was, we know Yahoo. What was Carolina RR?
And
Hotmail?
AOL, I'm on AOL,
Yeah.
have mine still in spam.
Really?
And it didn't last year, like I was getting everything fine all around.
I'm glad to know there's one other AOL out there besides me.
And now everything's going to spam. And it doesn't matter if I click this isn't spam, like now I have to always check spam every minute, like to make sure.
Okay. We'll take a look and see if there's something with that. I did just find out that our firewall is controlled by the state, so we have to go through some of those kind of things, so. But hopefully we'll figure out what that process is and be able to work that out. But you're saying that's emails from the school, just,
Teachers, foundation, principals. all of it.
whatever platform the foundation uses, that comes through just fine, but for teachers in the middle school, I'm not. And I don't know if the elementary school sent me anything either.
I get the, like, attendance updates and the Power School updates, but I don't get the emails that go out to the general public.
okay. I wouldn't think that would be a different firewall.
So a question, probably for Mr. Zorn. Ninth, or 10th grade got new computers, but are they going to get covers for them, or are they not? Because last year I didn't keep track of the covers, because mine didn't put them on. But are they gonna get covers, or not, or do you not know? You know, the laptop.
Are we live now?
You're live, but we're still waiting for people to find the link.
Did you hear what she just said?
About cases.
Covers for the Chromebooks, don't they have?
Well, it depends on which model. Certain models, you don't need a case on it.
Okay, I've just been informed by IT that certain models of the Chromebooks do not require a case
Maybe that's.
because of the way they're
What-
constructed.
What model do you know? Does it say like on the front lid here or anything?
It just has a gray edging. It's black with a gray. Do I know?
I've never seen a Chromebook like it looks like that.
Do I know what Chromebook she has? I don't know. She came back and said she didn't get a cover, a protective cover, and this is my.
What grade?
10th. This is my third going.
Yep.
Every Chromebook had a cover.
The 10th and 11th grade got new Asus brand Chromebooks,
Yes,
and based off the insurance company, they don't need
yes.
the casing because they had that rubber surround. They're pretty durable.
It's gray. It's like a dark gray.
Yeah.
Rubber thing. I just wanted to make sure. Because,
Yeah, those particular models don't need to have a case on it.
Thank you.
I guess I could ask that question.
None of them used it. I kept them in my drawer until the end.
On the subject of Chromebooks, because I know it was also a hot topic with the Chromebook being attached to the activity fee and the activity fee not being due until a couple of days after the Chromebooks were assigned. Is that something that might be fixed next year so that it happens in reverse? So we don't get repeated calls from our child going, did you pay my activity fee because I need my Chromebook?
I'm gonna say two things about that. Number one, there was a 100% oversight mistake, and once it was made, we didn't know how to fix it. It was like it was too late to fix it. It will 100% not happen again. I mean, we're definitely not going to make that mistake again, where we say, hey, your fees are due here, and then hand it out before the fees are even due. But yeah, it was just a mistake. Yes.
I have an answer to your newsletter question from Ms. Smith. She said, of course, it opens great on the computer, but if you're on your phone, when you pull it up, it should have a little download arrow, and you push it, and then it comes up as a PDF. But they are working on it to get easier on the phone, so they are aware of this.
So to recap, if you're having trouble opening the newsletter on your phone, you have to look for the little download arrow. And when you click on the download arrow, it'll turn it into a PDF for easier viewing.
Yes.
I would like to say something about the carpool skit. That took a very different direction than what I thought it was going to do when it started, so thank you. Very well done, very nice. There was a segment of that skit that I really wanted to call everyone's attention to, believe it or not, it's the cell phone part. For those of you that don't know, and I wish that 1,500 parents were sitting here so that I could say this to everyone. We do not control or have any control over the traffic lights. Last year, we received some complaints from parents, like they called us, about the traffic light at the corner of Martin Luther King and Weddington Road, as though we had some magical authority over that light. We do not. Everything about it is controlled by DOT. They're the ones that actually came in and designed our carpool lanes and made us do it a certain way, and the lights and set the timings and all that different stuff. All of that said, DOT has been very friendly with us at the beginning part of the year for some reason. I don't know why. Last year, we couldn't get them to do anything to that light, no matter how many times we put the request in or called or begged or whatever we did. And for some reason this year, some of you probably saw me, I was out towards the north entrance, and one of my complaints last year was the green arrow to turn left into campus was like 10 seconds long. And we kept telling DOT, listen, you gave us all this carpool lane space and we can't put cars in it. They're all stuck on 84 because that light won't stay green long enough. Well, this year when we called, and now I know what happened, we said, nobody can get into Food Line. Because our traffic is backed up all the way along that left-hand turn lane. So they can't get into the left-hand turn lane coming from this direction to turn into Food Line. That day, they doubled the amount of time on that light. They went from they told us it was a 15-second light to a 30-second light. And we went from putting like 8 cars maybe got to turn left to, and it's like 16, 20. So they did that. That was a good thing. Created a new problem. Now all the cars were getting off of MLK, and then now they're all on our lot. So we made another call and like, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I can't believe you have the power to do that. But now we can't get them off of MLK, take that part up, because we can't get them out of our campus. So we don't have any more room to accept cars from MLK because the green light that is letting the people out of the campus, this is all north side, by the way, won't let enough cars out. And so our cars are all backed up. This one did take them a little longer. But I think, based on my AM observations of carpool, that green light to exit campus is longer now. And it lets more cars out for a longer period of time. Unfortunately, I think it turns green less frequently. So it's like they have to do, I guess, a balancing act when it comes to, the traffic on MLK. I think they did their balancing act. We have a longer green. Here's the important part. I know I'm taking a lot of time with this. The green light to exit campus has sensors built into it. and it has a gap time. So if I guess it's watching traffic come, a car comes, and I don't know the exact time, I'm gonna say 2 seconds. After that car goes, if in 2 seconds another car is coming, it stays green. If another car doesn't come for longer than 2 seconds, the light has a brain in it that says, oh, I can turn red now, there's no more cars coming. And so regardless of how long the green exit time is, just like in that skid, if it turns green and 4 cars take off, and that 5th car is doing this and doesn't realize it, and then says, oh, I gotta go, that thing turns red. And so only 4 cars went through, and then we're backed up like crazy, because it really should let about 24 cars through. But it has a gap timer on it, and once it senses that there's a gap between vehicles coming through, it turns red. So it's really important, if you're in the north side and you wanna get out of here, don't start honking at each other. You're going crazy out there. But when you're sitting and waiting for that thing to turn green, it needs to be like you're at the speed, like the drag strip. And just be ready, when it goes green, go. Like, get out and make sure you stay behind the person in front of you. And the more people that kind of stay close together, the more people it will let out. That was a long story.
So is that like that now, we're having to sit for 3 lanes in the morning to 4 cars are
Yes.
Because the people in the other 2 lanes are still mad at the people that's in that 3rd lane.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone is, the 3 lanes make it odd.
Yeah.
Because the left and the middle have to merge before it goes all the way to the right.
That's what,
We don't do that in normal traffic in life,
right.
so I think that's what's odd.
Usually it only gets to 3 lanes from about 7:45 to 7:50. So if you want to avoid the 3-lane hassle, get here earlier than that.
It's so much nicer at 7:30, I'll just tell you. Cause.
But yeah, that is actually what it is, and DOT built it that way, and that's how they want it. But like I said, we either gotta work with each other and deal with 3 lanes, or get backed up to 84 and get stuck out there. So.
I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone at the beginning of this school year. I think we've all talked about it, but it has been a very, very smooth transition. I think everybody has pulled together to do that, to do all the little things. So carpool went a lot smoother the first day last year on South End. We were like almost 6 o'clock. Like, I walked in and after school was closing down. I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Especially since it only took about 30 minutes at the other campus. But this year has been off to a great start. I know the 3 of us have been very appreciative of everybody's help and just attention to detail, and also appreciate this parent organization, the parent council, for all they do in the kind of patrolling. And we know that things get out there. We try to communicate as much as possible and all the things that we can to make sure that this is a great place, and appreciate kind of the feedback that we're able to get on nights like tonight. So appreciate it.
I have one question about communication. Things that are posted to like Facebook or Instagram, are those things also being posted to a platform that parents who don't have social media accounts?
We don't, I want to make sure I answer your question correctly. As a school, we don't check those pages. We don't respond to those pages.
She's talking, you post evidence, like has an Instagram page. that has-
Okay, I just want to make sure, that's why I asked the question of you.
And they post things.
Mhm.
And there's definitely information that I don't know because I don't have Facebook. It's in the news.
It should be in the newsletter. We shouldn't post, because our primary, where we want parents to go for communication is the website and the newsletter. That's primary. So everything gets posted on there first, and then our social media outlets are a secondary outlet.
Maybe pictures and stuff.
Yeah, pictures and things like that. But primary is the newsletter. So if you're finding that you don't see something on the website, not newsletter, I'm sorry, the website, that should be our first source. And we're trying to funnel everything through there, so it's one common message, one piece of communication going out there first, with that.
I just want to make a recommendation. We're still relatively new. This is our second year. And I still get robocalls from the last school that we went to. And they're so organized, like the middle school is sending one, the elementary school, and it'll say, BOGs are gonna happen on Monday. We're gonna have a family forum meeting on Tuesday at 7 PM. And it just, it is so helpful to not have to go to the teachers. Like, I still feel like I'm not going to all the places, and sometimes I'll see different information at different places. And I don't know if that's a possibility.
We've
But Sunday
talked
night
about
at
that.
7.
We've talked about doing.
And we would love your feedback, because we were talking about if you have an elementary, middle, and high, are you gonna get annoyed by the fact you
Yeah.
might get?
That was, I would say the feedback we got was a lot of people said, don't do that because it's too many phone calls. So that's really why we haven't, because the majority of the feedback we got is that they didn't want that. I mean, we've considered that, we even had the conversation about starting that.
And in the past, I think that it wanted to be a K-12 message, since we're a K-12 school, but I'm very open and used to in my, past principalships to do those calls, so I don't think we're against it at all, so.
Yeah, we just tried to, communication is a funny business, because what one person feels is good communication, another person feels is over communication. And so in trying to communicate to the masses, it's just, we have a lot of conversations
Would they
about
not
what's
have an
that.
option to opt out?
Yeah, I think you cannot, I know that when I was still in the middle school, I can opt out. But it was just, I like it because it comes to me and I don't have to search for it. And sometimes you forget to search and then you miss something you didn't know you were supposed to be searching for.
Right, exactly.
So I could tell you everything that's going on at that school, but I still am not quite sure what's going on. But anyway, it's just a thought.
I think sometimes it's hard too, because we are a K-12 school, but we get general K-12 information that applies to everybody. But then you have an elementary, a middle, or high, and you're like, wait, what kid, what grade, where am I supposed to be, what meeting? And then, and this applies to everybody. So sometimes just the school-specific communication's like, that's a reminder, this is for my third grader. That's a reminder, this is for my seventh grader. This is for my.
Do you think phone calls or emails or what the name, y'all?
Robocalls are just so common.
You like to text the best?
I was gonna say, isn't everything on the school calendar as well, on the first page of the?
Yeah,
website?
we've really tried hard this year, as a leadership team to meet with all the parties involved for all of the calendars. So the calendar has been, pretty spot on as far as I'm concerned, with everything, to try to make sure we're not changing, we're, focused on that and giving it, so within 6 weeks, there shouldn't be any changes to that calendar. So we've tried very hard to make sure that UA calendar on the webpage is accurate and absolutely correct.
And I will say with the calendar, there's a way that you can sync it to your calendar, meaning on your phone, whether it's a Google Calendar, whatever. So that is a lifesaver for me and my crazy people.
I'm not sure if you guys could answer this, this is just a thought, about the yearbook. I have 3 children, I have one that already graduated, and I'm just wondering, is it possible, I noticed in my daughter's, the one that graduated in 2018, there's not a lot about the senior. When I look back at my yearbook as a senior, there's a lot of pictures from this man. The yearbook really consists of every single grade, every single student in her thing, but there's no real focus on the senior. There's a couple graduating from different things, but is there a way, I know we're a whole school together, but kind of just doing more focusing on the senior year, or maybe doing different yearbooks for her grade, maybe, or level rather. Yeah, like doing a K through, whatever the levels are.
I think we can look into what's in the yearbook. I'm kind of against different level yearbooks because I feel like we are a K-12 school, and that's one of the things that makes us what we are. But I think we can talk about that. And, the yearbook staff of students decides a lot of the content that goes into those yearbooks as well. So I think it's just a matter of having some conversations with the yearbook staff as far as that goes too.
Do you think that, that grade level some of the kids could just get together and do a yearbook, like we had a mom in our class who did a yearbook for our.
Well, there's actually, in fact, my daughter was in it. There's actually a class, a year-long class for yearbook, and they design it, in fact. One of the reasons that my daughter, she didn't know she had to sell ads. So they actually have to go out and sell the ads as well. And they do the entire thing, the entire class all year long. But this child was in it, it was not the child complaint, it was a different child that already graduated. And it was just always something, and then she got in class, she learned a lot about it. And thought, you know, in a lot of other schools, elementary has their own yearbook, you know, but just maybe focusing a little bit more about candidates of what went on and what they did. And it was just a thought that came across.
On the yearbook topic, I remember hearing a lot of parents and students discussing that, like, 6th grade last year, they were just starting band and just starting orchestra, and there's the musical, and there's all these things that weren't represented at all in their pages, while every sport picture was there. But there was all these other things that were year-round things that weren't shown at all. And even, I think it said like middle school, and the whole spread was like mostly pictures of 5th graders.
There's a lot of 5th grades, and like repeat pictures of the same 5th grade class.
But I'm just wondering if maybe, and this is just something to think about, like if there could be some sort of, because I wouldn't expect high school students to really know that, oh, those are all 5th graders in all those pictures. But maybe at grade levels, there'd be parents or something that could be advisors on those certain pages that are dedicated to them in the yearbook, so that it's more evenly represented.
We'll talk more about the yearbook and some ideas, just working some stuff in my head too, to see what we can do with that group.
The horse is kind of out of barn for this year, but maybe for next year. I'm wondering if, in terms of school supply lists, especially the problem I've run into the past few years is at the middle school level. They're publishing school supply lists early in the summer, June or whatever, which seems really helpful until you get to back to school night and the teacher says, oh no, we don't need that, that's an old list. Or I didn't know I was teaching this class till 2 weeks ago, you don't need that, you need this instead. And when we went to the high school, each teacher had his or her specific individual list of what he really needed. And it was super helpful. And especially at middle school, when you've got kids who are taking some high school classes, and it's just one general list. And I'm thinking, 6 binders. One of these has to be for math, and he's not taking middle school math. Could we get it more individualized next year?
Believe me, if that horse wasn't already out of the barn, it was gonna get wrangled by me, because I was over that. I inherited, yes, I inherited that, and I definitely, having a middle schooler and a high schooler, we also, there's changes in teachers over the summer.
Right.
Not what we want, but sometimes it happens, and we do want the school supplies to be purposeful. So yes, that's already something we have addressed as a middle school staff, is how we will do it next year. So I appreciate that, and honestly, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I don't even mind if it's 2 days before school starts. I'd rather get one list, one
Right.
time.
I know there's
Get
some.
2 months in advance.
I know the sales and things, there's big, so we'll watch that, but it will definitely not be the day you get out of school for the summer that it will already be posted.
Thank you.
The revised list that you sent out this weekend was really helpful, where it just said if your kids have this teacher,
Yeah.
then get that separate. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
The high
I
school
wish
QR
it
code
didn't
was
happen
great.
like it did, but I can't do it right now.
That scanning the QR code, it was helpful.
That was amazing.
Good.
I don't have a question. I just want to say, I have a middle schooler and a high schooler student. I want to say how great it has been this year. And I talked to my kids after the first week, and boys don't say much at my house unless it's to each other and really loud and all some of this. But they said, I said, how's it going? What do you think? And they said how they really just felt calm and like everything was just easy and calm. And so I think that has a lot to do with you guys, and I just want to say thank you. I think it was
I want to thank you all for coming. I wanted to just give a plug for, Ms. Mitchell came to my office today and talked to me. She asked if I would announce tonight that we're having a character speaker. I believe it's on the 26th, the evening of the 26th. They're going to talk about social media and our kids being on social media, that type of thing. And she's just an excellent speaker. So I hope you all will come to that. And we will be having another forum, but it won't be until the next quarter. I don't know what the topic's going to be. Current council will meet and come up with something that we think is important for everybody. Thank you, principals, for being here and answering all those questions. And
Thank you, Mandy Watson, for being awesome.
We had a little drawing here.
Last year, the volunteers here at UA saved the school over $2 million.
Yes.
Thank you for organizing that all, so we don't all have to go.
You're very, very welcome. But I don't know if anybody else has ever heard that too, but Ms. Bowman was just saying, was last year with all the work that you all have done, we saved the school over $2 million last year. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate you today, yesterday, tomorrow. I just need your help all the time. So very much thank you. So I'm gonna have Mr. Zorn.
Is everyone in there?
Everybody in there that needs to be in there? It's for this little bag here. We're using our character bag that some of our parent volunteers have decorated for us this year. Go ahead. You want in?
That's okay.
All right. I'm gonna do John on this one. No, I can't pronounce that one. Sarah J. Jadelsky.
Here you go, Miss Sarah. And last but not least, if you are here tonight, you can put in a volunteer hour and Mr. Camp back there, or I can sign off on it for you or help you with your mobile survey if you need to. So everybody have a good night. Have a safe trip home.
August 26th, character night, please be there.
August 26th.